Oh, hello. Hello, everybody. Who do you got? We got Walter Bennett, McGill, Lajeunesse, Kapla, Back to Good, Vineyard Farmhouse. Right on, right on. Probably doing the required 5 minute delay prayer to the algorithm. Please, please, algorithm. How are everybody? I am fighting off a head cold thing that I think I got from my stupid lead guitarist on Monday. Damn you, Seth. Ready for my extra hour of sleep overnight. It still pisses me off every year, twice a year. It's just so stupid. The fact that we still do this is just dumb. It's the YouTube has done something stupid again. With the now you guys' chats are like going all across the screen. Ugh. Oh yeah, you had it too. Awesome! Yay! Stupid Seth. We even cut that jam short because we were like, we don't want to be in the same room as this guy. Let's just cut it. We'll shut her down and we'll go outside and hang out in the yard. Apparently didn't matter. Might as well have just kept playing because we already got it. Losing an hour of sleep tonight, better not stay long. Well, it's the opposite of that if you believe in such things. It's just such a stupid thing that we still do. It doesn't even make sense. And they keep talking about, well, we're going to get rid of it one of these times. And British Columbia is like, we're going to get rid of it as soon as Washington and Oregon and California do. What the shit does it matter what they do? What the hell difference does it make if they're on a different time than us? Like we can be 10 o'clock and they can be 9 o'clock. What the hell difference does it make? We don't do it in Arizona, so it makes it confusing when they don't do it in Saskatchewan either. Haven't done it for as long as I was born in Saskatchewan, lived there for 18 years, 20 years ago, and they never did it. And so we always just had to remember whether we were on Alberta time or Manitoba time. So like our clocks never changed, but we changed in relation to everybody else. So sometimes Ontario was 3 hours away, and sometimes it was 4 hours away. It was dumb. It's all stupid. We need to stop doing that. I could keep going. I could do this. This whole show could be me just complaining about changing the clocks because it's just stupid. All of the science says that we should stop doing it. But why would we listen to science? We're common sense. I mean, if you don't want to listen to science, just listen to common sense. It's stupid, and we don't have to do it, but we do. But I mean, a lot of what we do is stupid, and we continue to do it. So, Arizona never changes time. They don't. Yeah, see, that's the thing. 1 hour. Sometimes you're this much different than everybody else. Sometimes you're this much different than everybody else. That's how we lived in Saskatchewan as well. It's like sometimes we're the same time as Alberta. Sometimes we're the same time as Manitoba. Just dumb. How's everybody? Other than the time change happening this weekend, which we should get off of. Because this show is supposed to be fun. It's not about scientists, it's about politicians. What the shit but the politicians, why do they care? What difference does it make? It doesn't make them any more money. Or whatever. It will make the people they represent happier to stop doing it. It would probably even make their donors happier to stop doing it. Currently rearranging my tiny shop layout / storage. Sweet. Eric Habakabaka's here. Like the nighttime, it doesn't bother me much. It only bothers me because it's something that we should have stopped doing a long time ago because it doesn't make sense, and we still haven't stopped doing it. It's really the only reason it bothers me. If they stop, which way do you keep it? Doesn't fucking matter at all which way you keep it. Just keep it one way. It's completely irrelevant to which way they keep it. They could split the difference and they just change everything a half an hour and just now it's set. They could do 47 minutes and just change it and now it's set. I don't care. Just everybody just stop doing the change thing. Maybe not 47 because some people will have problems with that. But like, just keep one. Just when the next time it changes, say now we're never changing again. Most people would like it so that it's still daylight when they get off work at 5 o'clock. Yeah, I think that's probably true. But a lot of people would also like it that it's not dark when they go to work. Maybe. I don't know. You're probably right. It's probably better if it's... But it doesn't matter. We would get used to whichever one it is. And then now it's just... That's what time it is. 7 o'clock is always 7 o'clock. I got a box. It's a big box this time. From my friend Sean McGill. Super fast. Did this get here in a day? What's in the box? What's in the box? It's not the replacement Beaver truck. Still no movement on the Beaver truck situation because I have not given them what they require for them to address that because I don't feel like I should have to, but I guess I will. And then I'll say like, sorry, it took you too long now. And then I can put out the video that says, these guys, their product sucks and they suck. It shipped it Wednesday evening. So it didn't actually leave until Thursday. If you shipped it Friday evening, it didn't leave the post office on your end until Thursday. And it got to me on Friday. Sean knows what's in the box. Yes, he does. Because he put it in there. I know what's supposed to be in the box. Give us hints and let us guess. Okay. It is... Let's say that it could be qualified as a tool, but you could make the argument that it is not a tool. But let's start with that. Let's start with you could argue it's a tool, or you could argue that it's not technically a tool. That'll be the start of the hint. Some other people obviously know what it is already. Todd Lachness obviously knows what it is because he remembers the conversation about the fact that this was coming for me. Duct tape, I like that because that could qualify as a tool and not a tool at the same time. Vaguely. Oh, Todd doesn't remember exactly what it is. Okay. That would be a lot of duct tape. You see the size of this box? That would be a lot of duct tape. Does it require tooling? Yes. It is a tool, but not a tool that requires another tool for it to function. This is fun. Pinnell can't guess because he knows what it is too. Paul can't guess because he knows what it is too. It would be heavier too if it was full of duct tape. Maybe I'm super strong and I'm just making it look lighter than it is because of how super strong I am. You don't know how heavy it is just by the ease of me picking it up. It's a glitter bomb. Box of cotton candy. Nobody would consider cotton candy to be a tool. Sandpaper is a good guess. Random orbit sandpaper would be a good guess because you do need a tool to make that do what it needs to do. But it could be considered a tool in itself. Yeah, maybe. It's a box within a box within a box and a printed out link to the pork chops video. Oh, I hope it is. And just with some, he's just completely lying to me about what he sent, and it's just like weighted boxes. It's just stuff that's relatively heavy put inside boxes with a link to the pork chop video. That's a thing that Pinnell would do. Sean McGill is actually like a good person. And not a huge jerk. Flat river stones. That'd be cool. Explosive box of dog poop. It's a box of teriyaki pork chops. Be good. I'm glad that it came so quickly then too, because I'd still be able to eat them. I don't know. Might not be good for you. Unless it's in like a box within a styrofoam with some ice packs and they're frozen teriyaki pork chops. In which case I should probably get this open and get it to the freezer. The last dying breath of Henry Ford. It's such a strange guess. In what way would that be considered a tool that requires another tool in order for it to function? I like the guess. It's strange and doesn't. The hint. Yeah. Cool guess, but it doesn't make sense based on the hint. Should we open it up and you guys can stop guessing? Or would you like a more, let's do a second hint that's a little better. That was participation. Cool guess. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a very cool guess. Okay, so it could be considered a tool, but it could be not considered not a tool because it requires another tool for it to do its job. That's guess number one. Guess number two is that let's just say that it requires a saw in order for it to do its job. If you do not have a specific type of saw, this is not going to do anything for you. Mike is a tool that requires another tool to do his job. It's not inaccurate. Zero clearance table saw insert. Sean McGill is not a stupid, dumb idiot like Amazon and would use a smaller box. 20 of them. Oh, okay, yeah. 20 zero clearance inserts for my table saw? That'd be rad. Sean, why didn't you send me 20 zero clearance inserts for my table saw? See, now I'm thinking, would I rather have 20 zero clearance inserts for my table saw or this thing? This thing. I would rather have this than 20 extra zero clearance inserts. It's a box of kittens and a book on uses of dead kittens. You don't need a saw to use dead kittens. Does Craig make it? No, Craig doesn't make this one. Craig might make one. I don't know if Craig makes one, but Craig didn't make this one. I don't think that Craig makes one. In fact, I don't know that I've seen any mass production version of this. This is the only one of these that I've ever seen, like, I've seen people make these for themselves. This is the only one I've ever seen, like, in production for sale. Who's Craig? Craig Ferguson? Got attacked by a flying bull today. It happens. I'm thankful I haven't had too many experiences with flying bulls attacking me, but it has happened. Chris Craig is a company. He knows. He's trying to be funny. Sometimes it works. Sometimes Chris has some pretty good ones. But like his ratio is it's okay, actually, to be honest. To be fair to Chris, his ratio of attempts to be funny versus actually being funny is pretty good. Is it a jig? Yeah. Is it a jig? Yes. But I don't know if it's a jig or a fixture. A jig holds the wood while it moves. A fixture moves. No. Let's go with yes. I think it's referred to as a jig, but I don't know if it's a jig or a fixture technically. A steady rest for the lathe. No, the clue number 2 was that you need a saw for it to do what it does. Does it slide in the tracks of a table saw? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I think we now know that it is a jig / fixture for use on the table saw. But please, somebody, let me know the difference and the definition between jig and fixture, because everybody always gets those confused. And even like experts, I think I was listening to a podcast with like Megan Fitzpatrick, who literally like writes books on woodworking, and kind of is the authority on vernacular in the woodworking world. I think I was listening to a podcast with her where she was like, I don't remember what the difference between a jig and a fixture is. Fixtures are used for supporting and locating a workpiece. Fixtures do not guide the tool on a workpiece like the jig. So it's a fixture, because fixtures do not guide the tool on the workpiece. This guides the workpiece through the tool. So it's a fixture. A jig would be used to guide the tool, like a router sled would be a jig, because it's guiding the tool over the workpiece. Whereas the fixture, like this, is immobilizing the workpiece and guiding it through the tool. I don't know. Anyway, kind of irrelevant. I'm going to use my Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff marking knife to open this up. By the way, a little disappointed in you guys. You're my Patreon peeps that have access to purchasing these already. And everybody was clamoring for them, being like, I want one. And I've sold one so far, and it just happened today. I still have to respond to Matt to confirm his purchase and get payment from him. But only one of you guys have actually purchased one of these. There's a lot of packing peanuts in here. I'm going to make a big mess. Damn it, Miguel. Told you need another box. Okay, yeah, sorry. I don't think either I didn't see that or I didn't know what you were talking about. I think I did see you say that, but I thought maybe it was going to be for like loose bits. I didn't realize it was packing material. Now I got packing peanuts for the next time I need those. Okay, maybe I can. This is my Fancy Pants new segmenting table saw sled with all of its various degrees and things on it. This is the setup stick too. We'll get everything out of the box and then we'll have a look-see at it. Is that everything? Is that everything, Sean? Looking around through the packing peanuts, I'm digging. Is it just the bag and the thing? I'm gonna assume it's just the bag and the thing. If there's something else in there, let me know, because I'm not gonna dig around forever. That should be it. Okay. So, this dealie. Oh, that's cool. It's got sandpaper. Oh, it's got like a sandpaper side, so it's grippy, so it's not going to slide against there. That's smart. So this is yeah, that's rad. So it's got a little pin that you put in the, I guess the number of segments you want to cut. So it's not labeled by degree. It's labeled by the number of segments you want to make in your ring. So if I want to make an 8-ring thing, I put it on the 8, which is 22.5 degrees, and then it runs through and cuts the rings to make me an 8-ring segment. If I want to make a 24 segment deal, I find the 24 hole and I put it in there, and now it's set at a different. That's rad. Oh, and this is okay. This is a cool thing. And then this spring-loaded dealie, it's got sandpaper to keep it from sliding around when you're making the cut. And it's also got a built-in like spring-loaded like hold down to the sandpapered thing. So you put your, get a random piece of something. Okay, let's just say I get something small. A giant piece of 2x4. So let's say I want to make a segmented circle out of this piece of walnut, and I want, let's say I want a 18 segment circle. I'm going to find my 18 spot. I'm going to put my peg in there. Then I'm going to load my piece of wood in there. And that's going to hold it down like that. And I'm going to run it through. And after it's set up to be the right distance from the, and it's going to run in the miter slot. This is a cool jig / fixture. It's going to run in that side. Yeah. Rad. And it locks down. And everything looks like it's going to lock down super secure. Like not, this knob loosens and tightens your ability to shift things once it's, be a small piece that kicks the cutoffs away. Yeah, it's probably in the bag with all the extra things like the setup, blah. This is how you set your distance from the, blade, or your length, the width of your segments. You set with this dealie. So you lock this down and you leave it in the other miter sled or miter slot. So you measure against that and then run through and then flip and measure against that and run through so that they're all the same. This is the where that rides in the miter sled, the miter slot. This is another one. This is the one for the sled itself. This is the one for this thing. We got a push stick. Not sure why I need a push stick with a jig that is, this is our setup guide that's gonna get our miter runner set on the sled so that it's perpendicular to the blade before we start. This is what you were talking about, Paul, the little angle piece that attaches to the sled that pushes the pieces out of the way. And another push stick, just a couple of push sticks, which I'm not really sure. It's cool that he throws them in with the product, but I don't know why, really. Unless he's just like, here, have some push sticks also. I was watching the setup video and then I got to the, oh, by the way, the setup video for this thing is fantastic. I opened it up. I was talking to Sean when I opened it. I was like, I love that I clicked on this video and he comes up and he's like a dude. He's clearly like in his shop, like standing in front of like a wrinkly white sheet. Like he did a backdrop of like just like a crinkly white bed sheet. And he is like, hello, today we are going to go through the setup of our segmenting. It's just like, this is the kind of production value that I like in a YouTube. It's this guy standing in front of a white sheet. That's great. It does look like a nice tool. It's like I said, it could be considered a tool, but also you could argue that it's not a tool because it requires a tool in order to use it. All right, later, Kapla. Mark your calendar so we can ask him about it in a year. Sure. Can never have too many push sticks. I guess it's true, but they're just going to go in a corner and never get used. I don't like this style of push stick. I don't feel like I have good control with this style of push stick. This is better. This is a better style of push stick. It also has more like hold downiness as a push stick than this kind. This kind I feel like I am not in control of the piece as much with this style of push stick. But everybody likes a different kind of push stick. So I'll get that set up. I'm not going to commit because then people will make fun of me when I don't do it then. I'll get that set up and cut some segments and maybe make another segmented thing. We were talking not that long ago on the show, like a month ago, maybe, about like why I don't make more segmented things since the first and only one that I've made. And it's because it's a huge hassle. This theoretically will make it less of a hassle. So, yeah. Load things that go in the bag back in the bag. So nothing goes missing, hopefully, in theory. Yeah. Right on, man. I really, really appreciate you sending me that. It does look like a well-constructed heavy duty, high quality jig fixture. Maybe I make more segmented things. Exclamation mark, remind me 365 days. I don't know what that means. Is it a thing you can just type into your phone and it does that or something? Mike, would you be interested in doing a live guest spot with me sometime soon? Yeah, I've done that twice. Would just be you and okay, like a one-on-one, like a special, like a whole show of just you and me. Sure. Unless you want me to like plan something. If you want me to prepare for it, I'm not going to say that I won't, but it's likely that I won't. But if it's just like a casual, cool hangout thing and you can ask me questions and we'll have a discussion, then yeah. Maybe I could do like a quick demo of something if you wanted me to, but showcase some things that I've made. Yeah, it could be a show and tell, I guess, of some things that I've made and the types of stuff that I get up to on the channel. I would just, like I said, I would just need to know what the expectations were so that I could, if I needed to get stuff from the house to show off, I could do that. Yeah, the answer is yes. I'd be happy to do that. Measuring. Yes, a class on measuring, a proper measuring techniques. That's what I'll do. No, that wouldn't be a good idea. I do know how to measure properly. It's just I don't bother. Most of the time, it works out fine to not bother. Yeah, we can do that. It'd be Wednesday, 6 o'clock my time is your show? 7 o'clock my time, I think. Whatever time it is on a Wednesday night, usually it works out well for me. Oh, stupid Seth. Stuffed up. Not have to plan anything. It could just be bring some show and tell items. Yeah, cool. I'll grab some stuff from the house that I've made and talk about what I do on the channel and the types of stuff that I've made and my journey into making and things like that. Yeah, happy to do that. Like I said, your time slot actually works out pretty well for me. Especially if I remember in advance of that happening. I've been peeling off the tape that I put down from, if you remember in the marking knife video, I like put packing tape down on my bench to keep from getting epoxy all over the place. I don't think I should have done that. I think I would have rather had epoxy on my bench than have to peel off the tape afterwards and then get rid of like the sticky residue goo. Next time I will not packing tape my bench. Peel the tape off and then you get the sticky like tape goo on your bench that you got to get rid of? It is probably well past time for like a bench resurfacing anyway. But I'll get to that when I get to that. It's not very high on the priority list. What's happening now? Cameras and motion sensors. What about that? What happened? You have a break-in? Oh, damn. Attempted break-in. Well, that's the best kind. Well, yeah, I guess it's accurate to say that's the best kind of break-in. Is an attempted break-in. Dogs woke me up. Hey, sweet. Good doggos. See if I'm missing things. It would be nice if everybody here in the chat showed up. Yeah, I don't know that you should want that necessarily. I'm not sure you should want these guys over on your show. You have a really good and pleasant and positive, encouraging atmosphere over there. Where you all compliment each other and you're really nice to each other and things. And I don't know that you want to bring this vibe into that necessarily. Because that's not what these guys are, my friend. You guys are all like nice and supportive and kind, and these guys are like, you suck and you suck and boo, loser. Like in a good-hearted, I think, kind of way. Vineyard Farmer, just let us know when, and we'll bring the insults. Yeah, see, I told you. Do you want to tell these guys when that's going to happen so that they can bring all of their negativity over there? I'm sure that they could change their tone. I think the only reason that they're like that here is because they get away with it, and it's like sort of a two-way. And it's just the atmosphere of the show. It's like it's on me, really. I don't know that I encourage it, but I don't discourage it. Bring it on. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out, and then we'll let everybody here know. Schedule it for some time that's not next week, and then we'll schedule it, and then on next week's show, we'll tell people the date and time of that show. And then we just won't remind them, like, right before, so that if they forget, then, we won't have to deal with them. No, that'll be fun. I've done at least one. I think maybe only one of those like sort of interview show where I'm the special guest, and the show is kind of all about me on somebody else's show. And it was a bunch of Australians. I did a show with them on Instagram, and it was like an hour all about me. It was weird. It was fun. You give as well as you get, Mike. I try. I try. It sounds like Vineyard is living the dream, homesteading with very few neighbors, and grapes and wine, and like heavy machinery. It just sounds pretty cool. Sounds like a lot of work, but it does sound cool. Cool, we'll figure it out. It won't be all about you. It's a back and forth conversation. Yeah. Well, I get it. You know what I mean. Try not to call them interviews on, although sometimes it turns out that way. Yeah, I understand. I just meant as opposed to like those panel discussions that you do sometimes that I've been on, where it's just all kind of like it's not about anybody in particular. Like heavy machinery and making his own hooch. Yep. Yep. Sounds pretty good. Oh, yeah. What else? What else would we do? I was supposed to have turning class tomorrow, but nobody was registered for it, and we were just about to cancel it, and then this morning, one person registered for it, and I went, I don't want to go through all the rigmarole to do a one-on-one down at the shop, and my shop. If I'd known that one person was going to register, I could have brought them to my shop to do a one-on-one. If I had known ahead of time and could have cleaned up. But my shop is not in a state where I would welcome strangers into it. So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to clean my shop and try to keep it relatively clean for the situations where only one person is registered for a turning class, and I can just bring them here. And yes, I know we have talked about like the liability issues and all those concerns and stuff. You guys are more concerned about it than I am. We're not Canadians in general. Pretty cool. We're not nearly as litigious as America. I don't like to generalize, but these are just true statements. I do two formats: open mic panels and the special guest. Used to be all that I would do as special guest. I don't think I've seen any of those, the special guest ones. I just scroll back on your channel and watch some of those so I know what I'm in for. Laser arrives tomorrow. That's right. Paul bought the laser packer so he can do his own branding on his headstocks. Because yeah, $25 per burn for somebody to put your logo on a headstock sounds like it's time to invest in your own way to do that. Because what did the laser packer cost? A couple hundred? 3, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'm undervaluing that thing. But it's not going to take you very long to pay that off, I don't think. $800? All right, so that's a fair number of necks. Headstocks. 800 times 4. Or divided by 4. 200 headstocks before it's paid off. It's a fair bit. But if you're doing, what, 32? I'm not a math guy. Panal, you want to double check this? What, 32 times 25? Does not sound like 800. Four per 100 times 8. Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah. Let's do it. What was I doing? I was doing 800 divided by 4 is 200. Why was I dividing by 4? Because that's how many you get out of $100. 4 per $100. Yeah, okay. Math Mike. Hashtag Math Mike. Oh, 2 years? That's pretty good. Is there at least a 2-year warranty on that guy? Paul's been spending good money on his shop the last little while. And making tradesy upgrades. Paul's been improving the shop in various ways quite a bit the last little while. Got the new oscillating belt slash spindle sander. You got a new jointer. You got the laser pecker dealie. You traded a lathe and a bandsaw for a big ass lathe. What else did you do? You've been like making pretty good improvements to the shop space over the last like 6 months. Jointer, planer, laser, bandsaw, lathe. Yeah. Oh, right. You get the 18BX bandsaw. I didn't know about the planer. Did I know about the planer? What planer did you get? Dude, how did I miss the fact you got a new planer? Or am I just not? I'm just not remembering everything that everybody gets. It's not going to surprise me. Oh, the 735 with the helical. That's right. That's right. Boy, Tyler Peterson just got the 735. I was going to go down there this past week on Wednesday and do the unboxing setup video with him of the 735. And talk about why he made that decision over all the other decisions he could have made when I made a different decision and it was one of my options. I think that would have been an interesting video. But then Wednesday, my kid didn't have school. And so I didn't get to go down and do that. But he said he would record some clips of him unboxing it and setting it up. And then I could go down later and we'll do a talk about why he made that decision and how it's working out for him and what he has found to be the benefits and things like that. He didn't get the helical head in it though. And I was like, dude, would never go a straight knife plater these days. With the options that are available in a similar price range to the 735 that are not helical but segmented cutters. I don't think I could make that decision. His is a shear head versus yours, which cuts straight on. No, his is 3 straight knives that cut straight. Anyone have any tips for dyeing a quilted maple top blue? 14 coats and it's barely blue. Have you possibly over sanded it? If you sand too high, dye doesn't want to take because the fibers aren't fuzzy enough to absorb it deep. So like if you sanded to 400 or even like 340, generally if I'm dyeing something, I don't sand past 150 before I start dyeing so that the fibers are ready to absorb color. But I don't, that's just my first thought. Sand it to 220. Well, that's not terrible. That's not super high. 14 coats of blue. I don't know. I've never needed more than 2 like dye sessions to get the color that I want. You shouldn't need to do multiples, numerous coats of dye. I mean, unless it's absorbing too deep and then therefore not showing up on the surface and it just keeps sucking in. What are you, it's quilted maple. Or is your dye not intense enough for the action that you're after? What are you dyeing with? Are you like watering it down? Troubleshoot Paul's problem here. I wouldn't say it's over absorbing if it's quilted maple. And 220 is not stupid high for dye to take. I mean, it's higher than I would want to go before I started dyeing, but you should be able to dye at 220. Should be able. That sounds bad. You should be able to dye at 220. Trans-tint and using denatured alcohol. Never use trans-tint. If you're over diluting it, maybe. Is trans-tint like a concentrate? You put like a little dropper. You might be over diluting it. And the combination of over diluting it and sanding too high, it's possible. That could be, it could be a combination of those things. Hold on, black coat went on fine, sanded it, then started the blue. Okay, so you're trying to get the black into the wavies. Now you've sanded back, and now you want to do blue to have the black in the grain come through under the blue. Okay, we're good. Now we're getting there. So in that case, your 220 was a good idea probably because you don't want to take out all the black that got into the grain. I think you just need to dial up the intensity of the dye. Less dilution. Unfortunately, I think you might need to sand it all back down. Not all of it, obviously. But I think I would go back to like a 150 And then if it didn't, if it takes out too much of the black, then start with your black again, and then 150, and then blue, a more intense, less dilute blue would be how I would go. I've done red and green before and they worked fine. So it's just the blue that you're having problems with. The unicorn spit a shot. I've heard good things about unicorn spit. I've never used it, but lots of people rave about that stuff. It's just the blue. Then I would suggest trying a different dye or changing the ratio of dye to solvent. I've also heard good things about the Crimson Guitars line of stains. I know you're not a huge fan of the company, but I've heard good things about their dyes. From people who aren't paid to say those things. Screw Crimson. Yeah, see, I beat you to it though. Did you miss the mail call? Yeah, you did, Tim. Okay, make sure your notification bell is turned on. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell. Sorry. Mail call was, for those of you who showed up late, Fancy Pants new segmenting table saw jig fixture. So you set your peg. You set your peg to the number of segments you want in your circle. It's hard to do holding it up this way and showing it to the camera. So if I want a 12 segment circle, that rests on that. I lock it down. This guy holds your piece against the fence, which is sandpapered. And you got yourself 10 segments that make a circle. It rides in your miter slot. From friend Sean McGill. I would ask Mr. Pinnell to put a link to that in the chat. But we know what he's going to do. It is www.q1wp.com. Quality First Wood Products. q1wp.com. It's just a dude in his shop making these things. Like I said earlier, the instructional video of the set, like how to set this up and get it operating on your saw, is like the most low budget like YouTube video maybe I've ever seen for like you would not expect from watching that video that you're gonna get something this high quality out of this place. It's like a guy in front of a white sheet that he has hung from a clothesline in his shop. And he's like, so we're gonna go through the setup of the segmenting jig on the table saw. It's just like, it's hilarious. It's perfect. What shit is happening outside my house right now? I have no idea what's happening outside my garage right now. It's not a break-in. It sounds like somebody's dropping something off that has wheels on it or something. And people talking about like, well, should we just like leave it in front of the garage door? Like, grab a sharp tool and investigate. No, I want to pretend like I'm not here. I don't know what they do. We're just gonna give this a minute. Like something actually like bumped into the garage door. Okay, now there's a vehicle starting. Grab the blood chisel. No, I got my marking knife. Had it. Have I seriously lost it already? It's okay, I got 9 more. Well, 8 more. Because Matt bought one. By the way, still, I gotta say, disappointed. Everybody clamoring for these marking knives. One sale. Okay, I don't have a weapon, but it sounds like they're gone. Oh, that's super disappointing. That is really, really disappointing, actually. We lent an old like TV carcass, like with all the guts taken out, like an old wooden like TV carcass is the best way to put it. To the theater group in town for one of their plays. And they've just dropped it back off, and I was really hoping that they wouldn't come back. Now we gotta bring it back into the house. Or just throw it in the box of my truck and take it to the dump. You're in Canada, just leave it there, Matthias will garbage pick it. No, he won't, because he's in Ontario. I had completely forgotten that we'd given it to them. And I know that we were lending it to them, but I secretly hoped that they would just keep it. Nope. It's back at my house. It's not like if it was actual wood, I would probably just break it down and make it into something else. Something else. But it's just the crappy like veneered MDF or particle board or whatever from cheap like 70s TV. Matthias is in Fredericton? I didn't know that. I thought he was in Ontario someplace. It could have been a moose, and those things are huge. Well, I don't think it could be a moose, because I don't think we have moose on Vancouver Island. It could be an elk. elk are big too. In fact, buddy Mikey B went out moose hunting, had to go all the way to the interior of British Columbia to go moose hunting 2 weeks ago. And this is going to be yet another time that we make fun of Mike for not killing a thing when he went to go kill a thing. Last time we talked about him going out hunting, he didn't catch anything either. So, sounds like a pretty crappy hunter. Could be a bear. Definitely could have been a bear. A big ass bear. Or just like sitting out here, just like this, at this spot, watching YouTube one day, maybe a month ago. And the garage door's up, and out of the corner of my eye, I see some movement, and I look over, and literally, like a giant ass black bear, just like walking by the front of my shop, just like 8 feet, maybe 12 at most feet away from me, just like wandering by. I was just like, oh damn. Glad it's not pissed off or have babies or something with it. Been watching YouTube driving around Campbell River videos. That's a thing. There's YouTube videos of driving around Campbell River. It's a weird thing to make a video of. I could see, like, not Campbell River itself, but like driving out into the wilderness and stuff videos. Like that, yeah, those are probably pretty cool videos. We're pretty, man. We are pretty here. We should all go visit Mike at the same time. Sure, you should. I just don't have room for all of you. Even if you're camping in the yard, I don't have a very big yard. We could get a couple of campsites together. Like we could book a block of campsites just at the edge of town or something. Everybody could come and we could have a Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff gathering. And we all camp out at the campsite. And then one at a time we come to the shop, I guess, because there's not that much room in here. Wife loves the way it looks. Yeah, dude, we are pretty. Well, I mean, you saw like the video that I made when I went down to Tyler's shop to make the mallet on the CNC. When I was in the truck and driving, being like, "Hey, I'm going down to my boy Tyler Peterson's shop," and then I turned the camera. That's like a minute and a half from my house. And like when I was doing the final episode of the guitar build and I was walking through the woods, that's like just over there. We're pretty. Here. It's a thing right now, driving around or motorcycling and making YouTube videos of it. Oh, maybe that's where I'm going wrong, is I'm not making videos of driving around. Only saw one video where they go into residential Campbell River. You've been here when I've gone outside, I think. That counts. Lots of downtown and waterfronts. Well, everything here is water. Not everything is waterfront, but like Campbell River itself is like 30 kilometers long and like 3 kilometers wide. What's that in miles? Let's say 10 miles long. Now, 13 miles long and a mile wide. Like it's because everybody wants to be as close to the ocean as they can, right? So we're all stretched out along the water. But then right on the other side of town is like vast forests and mountains and stuff. Looking for around 4 to 5 acres to buy. Probably need to be looking. I don't even know if they have 4 or 5 acre lots in Black Creek, but um, yeah, there probably are somewhere around the Black Creek area or up. Sort of between here and Sayward, might be some. Roberts Lake would be a beautiful place. If you could find 5 acres around Roberts Lake, that'd be sick. And I would come hang out. And Roberts Lake restaurant, the restaurant right on the highway at Roberts Lake has the best cinnamon buns in the world. That's just facts. So you could wake up every morning, go get a fresh baked best cinnamon bun in the world, go back to your 5 acres, make some guitars in the shop, wait for your buddy Mike to show up. Maybe get 2 cinnamon buns so that your buddy Mike can have one when he gets there. This sounds pretty good. This sounds pretty good. Go cut down a tree, mill it into boards, make guitars out of it. I'm gonna have a cigarette. Does my wife crochet? I think she has. She is knitted. She's more of a sewer these days. She makes clothing. She's more of a seamstress these days. She has gone through phases where she either crocheted or knitted. In various phases. We have some crocheted thing. I don't know the difference. Knitting is with the straight ones, crocheting is with the hooked ones. But I don't know from looking at something whether it has been crocheted or knitted. Smoke. What is this? My free snowblower is officially junk. Why do you need a snowblower? Why? Why did you even? Why, if you saw it, if I saw, hey, free snowblower, who wants it? I would not say yes. Her and my wife would get along just fine. Oh yeah, probably. People who make things, and I can imagine crocheters and seamstresses and things are all kind of similar minded. Took it apart to see what was wrong and has basically exploded the motor and bearing inside. Well, first of all, free snowblower, who wants it? Even if it was functioning, I would probably say no, because I just don't need a snowblower. We don't need snowblowers here, my friend. And then second of all, I'd be like, why is this free? Like, is it going to cost me $200 to fix it, and then I have a snowblower that I don't need? It's one of the small electric ones. Figured it'd just blowing the belt off. Yeah, but even so, what do you need a snowblower for? We don't get it. Like, my parents have a snowblower because they're super old, and they can't shovel the twice a year that you need to shovel, and they have more money than they need, so they bought a snowblower because for the 2 days a year that they need to get the snow off the driveway, they can just do it easier now. You don't need a snowblower. You don't need a snowblower because your driveway is on a big hill and you're too lazy to clear the driveway anyhow. And it's unnecessary. Okay, yes, I am too lazy to clear the driveway, but I also don't need to because there's not enough snow to make it. Like, I'm gonna put the effort in to clear the driveway when the rain's gonna wash it away like 3 days from now. I'll just park on snow for 3 days. Why can't you just park on snow for 3 days? I understand. You wanted the free snowblower. Sure. 3 weeks, come on. At worst, 3 weeks of parking on snow. And it's worse for me than it would be for you because if I park on snow, I'm risking sliding out into the street. You park on snow, nothing bad can happen. And you're right, like when it melts and then refreezes, that's when I risk like parking on it and sliding out into the street. That's not going to happen to you because you're flat. You have even less reason. And what number is this in terms of like free tools that you've gotten that have not been worth getting even for free? Are we at 4 yet? the Ryobi stuff that you got for free. There was like, okay, well now I need $300 for a battery and chargers, or it had to go to Buffalo for work 2 years ago. My 2-stage wouldn't have handled that much snow. Well, yeah, we don't have that problem. I don't know. It's been a few now, right? So maybe just saying. Nah, I guess it's worth a shot. You can take the free tool, in the worst case scenario, you give it away for free to somebody else that wants to make a bad decision. What are these doing down in this? What? I thought that was a... fucking... Oh! God. That may have not been my best idea to put holes in the leg of my workbench to store my holdfasts in. Because I hit my knee on these things like more frequently than I should. And sometimes like I hit it hard. Like right now, I hit that bad boy like pretty hard. Seemed like a good idea at the time. I still think it's a good storage solution to have them just in the leg of the bench like that, but they do stick out like that far off the leg. Anyway, like I was about to say, I thought that box of wood down there was like scraps. That's not scrap. That's a rosewood fretboard blank. That's not scrap. That's an ebony fretboard blank. What brand holdfasts are you using? They are Gramercy holdfasts. I don't think I've ever seen you use a holdfast. I don't use them a lot. They come out. I wouldn't say infrequently. I use them. It's a hard. I wouldn't say fairly often, but when I want them, I'm glad I have them. Did it hold fast when you hit it? Oh yeah, it was absolutely stationary. That's why it hurt so much when my knee hit it, because it had no give. In fact, like I just literally just pressed it in by hand. I didn't even hit it, and it was like pretty hard to take out. Holdfasts are great. We've talked about these before on the show and how like they are a really good work holding solution for certain situations. I'm trying to think of when the last time you might have seen me use them was, like in a video. I think I used them on the guitar to hold things down when I was doing something. I use them occasionally. They're a really good solution. Sometimes they're a solution to hold down just like a planing stop. So you might not see them because they're off camera, and there's just like they're holding on a piece of wood that's keeping something from moving that way. If you bought a Viver holdfast, it wouldn't hurt so much. Yeah, probably not. If I bought a Viver holdfast, I would just turn it into, like, melt it down and use the metal for something else, probably. Because they probably suck at that too. You make guitars? I do. Funny guy. This one right here. It's in process. Fucking smart ass. In fact, we could work on one right now. Let's work on one right now. These empty beer cans out of the way. I gotta put a little bit of an angle on this guy. Natty has still got a fever. I don't know. I'm still like kind of stuffed up in the facial area, and yeah, maybe, I don't know. Like the temperature regulation is not going well. Like I'm either too hot or too cold at all times. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so I have to put an angle on this guy right here because I'm using a 2-pneumatic bridge back here. So let's just do that. Let's use a hand plane. You're still sick, boss. She's the one that sent me home today. Okay, she was like, I don't want you here looking and sounding like that. And I was like, okay, I guess if it's cool that I go home and you're like, you don't want me here, I won't be here. Let's use a hand plane. It's another thing you guys don't think that I do. What is that? Guesses on what plane he's getting out. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Because I know which one it's going to be. Where's that? Oh, that one is right there. Hey, thanks, Starbond. If you guys want to get your hands on some Starbond CA glue, there's a discount code down in the video description. Business. Hashtag business, Mike. Oh, that one's empty. I don't know where my... Oh, there's one. That one's almost empty too. It's just about time to hit up my friends at Starbond again for a new accelerator. Maybe. Let that sit for a minute because I was using the thick, because my thin or my medium that I would normally use is like, I needs a new tip. I'm basically, if I twist that off, see, it's just gonna like rip the whole dealie off. I need to replace the tip on my medium. So we'll let that, actually that's probably okay. All right, what were the guesses on what plane is he gonna do? If only he had a hold fast. I can't do a hold fast on this. I need to be planing across this thing. Smart guy. You were very sweaty. I was very sweaty. Low angle jack could work. Wasn't my plan. Is there a bench fixture you could use to hold that to the bench? There is. It's called a hold fast, but it would be in my way when I plane it. Again, I'm not an idiot. It seems that way sometimes. If I hold fasted this to my bench, I wouldn't be able to plane this. Dummies. I am gonna use because I feel like it. This is my Type 6 Stanley number 8 hand plane. Overkill. Damn right. It's unnecessary, but it gives me lots of heft. And it'll ride this. I've got a piece of 1/4-inch oak back here that's allowing me to get the angle. I could just do this one-handed probably, like this bad boy. And we're just going to take this front down a few degrees. Basically just going to come back. I've got a line across here. Going to get rid of that line, and I'm going to actually put another line. Hey, where's my other? Yeah. We can go about a 1/4 inch past that. I'm gonna go until I get rid of those lines. There's the first one gone. Perfect. Got ourselves a couple of degrees. And so now I can either come on. Now I can either use this new slope to route an angle in the bottom of this neck cavity for the neck to now sit at an angle, or I can angle the butt of the neck to match the angle I just put on that, so that the fretboard is level with the body at the end there. There's another way. 2 pieces of wood and bench dogs. Use the wood to wedge the guitar in place, pushed against the drill. Yeah, there's lots of ways. There's lots of ways to do everything in woodworking. Yep. Ah, hold on. God, Joby is not getting any more of my money. They used to make quality products. That's empty. I should throw that away. Or was it this one that was empty? It was this one, I think. Nope, that's the one that still has a little bit. A number 8, seriously? Yeah, why not? I don't get to use it often enough, and I wanted to. Wasn't your workplace going to order the Rikon pen lathe? No, we were talking about getting the 70-105 for the shop when it first released, and it was $500 from Lee Valley with a free set of carbide turning tools. We were talking about getting one for the shop, but then before we actually decided whether to do that or not, it sold out, and now it's like $750. And yeah, and we also don't really have a good place to keep it at the shop. Like we're pretty maxed out on our storage solutions. So 4 classes to pay for it. No, she doesn't make as much as I do from those classes. But yeah, it would be a little while. But I mean, that's need better lighting in here. Here. Hey guys, remember that time that I used a hand plane? Hello, I am Bobbert. Yes, you absolutely are. Marking your calendar. That's right. Put it down so that you remember this time last year. He used a hand plane. Not just any hand plane either. Big ass hand plane. I think last time I did that, I used a number 6. Nope, last time I did that, I don't think I had either of those. I could just use the low angle jack last time. I wanted to use my big ass one. So what? It was fun. Gonna hit the sack. All right. Later, my friend. Thanks for coming out. We're probably just about done. I think for this guitar, instead of routing the bottom of that neck cavity at an angle, I'll probably angle the butt of the neck. Like that. To match the angle that I just put on that, so that the fretboard sits consistently. Because yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I got about a 1/2 inch left of body before it gets to the back, and if I angle the rest of that neck pocket, I'm at about 3/8 thickness at the joint, which is still probably lots. Maybe I'll do that. 3/8 is lots. Doesn't the fret need to level within? What? You want to try again? Because I don't know what that means at all. Doesn't the fret need to level within? Fretboard needs to be level with the body. Yes, it does. So that's what I mean. I gotta cut this neck butt down so that the body is level with the edge of the fretboard. And now that I've put an angle on the front of that, I can either angle the neck pocket so that when this sits down in there, it's on that angle like that. And then I can cut this square, or I can angle this neck butt so that when it sits down in there, it sits flat on the bottom like that, on that same angle. And then I don't have to pull a router back out, which is, nobody likes using a router. But now that I have that angle cut on the top of the body, the router will sit at its proper angle, and then I can flush up the bottom of that neck pocket with parallel to that angle. And then I don't have to worry about finding that same angle on here. That's probably what I'll do, actually, because I can 3/8 of an inch between the back of the body and the bottom of the neck is still lots, and it'll still be a 1/2 inch up at the end of the neck pocket. So that's lots. That's probably what I'll do. I'll get the flush trim bit out and I'll just hog out that angle on the neck pocket. Where are these bowls? Robert? What? You talking about the bowls from the video that released right before this show? If you watch that video, you'll find out where those bowls are. We're all having fun. Yeah, the bowls from the video that released right before this show are down at the shop. Well, most of them are in people's houses who made art in them from resin. Pretty good cut. Don't know the last time I sharpened that. Some are sitting on your shelf. Yes, there's a bucket of the little ones, but the little 3s and 3.5s. Apparently, most people didn't want to use those ones, so there are some left. They appear to be too deep for the amount of epoxy used. Well, the idea was that they were just doing a layer, like an art layer of epoxy on the bottom of the bowl. They weren't supposed to fill the bowl with epoxy. Be a lot of epoxy. I made him trim them. Yeah, that made it into the video. But the fact that, like, she doesn't want these ones quite so deep, so I gotta, like, off a bunch of it on the little guys. Did I show the end result? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did a sort of a flyover of the oceans and things in the bowls. Ugh. Maybe the angle of the final result made them appear deeper. Well, they were made out of 8-quarter ash. So by the time the top of them got cut and sanded and finished, they were probably 1 inch and, I don't know, 7/8 deep. So they were only about that deep. They look deeper because of how small they are, like especially the little glitched, the little 3.5-inch guys at 1 3/4 inch deep. They look really deep because of they're only this big around and they're that deep. So they look super deep, which is why we had to take a 1/2 inch off of each one of them. But for like a whatever 5.5, the ones that like this, to be about that deep, that's about right for a bowl, I think. And that's 1 7/8 inch outside. The inside is probably 1.5 inch deep. Ish. That's what I mean. The camera angle made it appear deeper. It's the movie magic, the magic of cinema. I don't know. They were what I wanted when they were done. They accomplished the goal. Now I just need to invoice her for them. Right. Yeah. That's a thing that I should do tomorrow. Like the long pause and then you say ish. Yeah. I try to be accurate. You did. No, I didn't. I invoiced you for the ones that were before the 2 or 3 that were in the previous month. The ones that were for the September class, I haven't invoiced you for yet. The discount ones from off the shelf that you used for that private, like one-on-one, I invoiced you for. I'm gonna smoke again. And we'll get this wrapped up pretty soon. Yeah, you do, like, there was one like private thing that did bowls. Remember we picked through the ones on the shelf, and I was like, I'll give you this one for $15. Because the ash ones weren't done yet. Because I had forgotten that there was an early. Look at that. We used a hand plane. We unboxed a tool / fixture. Maybe. No, not maybe. I mean, you can look at the invoice. And when I'm doing the invoice, I'll send you my hours from October as well. Business Mike is only a little. Business Nadia is only a little better than Business Mike. Yeah, but you don't need to be that much better than me because you have like business people. Like Business Nadia has bookkeeper person and accountant type person and stuff. I don't have those. Let me see your smoke. I've never seen this. No. Settle down. Because math hurts. Yeah, I know. I was trying to do math earlier tonight before you got here, I think. It's like trying to figure out how many headstock engravings Paul would need to do to pay off the new laser that he just got. He pays $25. There's like if a train is going from Pittsburgh to Chicago at 40 miles an hour, he's like, it cost me $25 to do a headstock, and this laser cost me $300. It's gonna pay itself off in how many headstocks? And I was like, in my head, I was like, well, okay, $25 a headstock, you get 4 for $100, and it costs you $300. I said, like, you did minus and carry the 4. It's like 70. All right, later, Bennett. But Business Mike has Excel pinout. Yeah, but I can't be like, hey, Paul, take care of all my finances for me for $0. I can get him to make me spreadsheets for fun things, but I can't be like, hey, spreadsheet up my entire financial life for me for nothing. That'd be great. What laser? He got a Laser Pecker Pro. It's like a portable thing that you just like, you can bring to the thing and put it on top of, and it engraves. It's not like a standalone machine like the Glowforge, because that wouldn't hold like a neck like this. We couldn't put this in the Glowforge and then engrave on that part of it. But he can take his little laser that comes on a little tripod stand thing, and he can put it over that, and it can burn. They're cool. And they're like $800. So maybe it might be something to look at for the shop in terms of like being able to do thicker things or wonky shaped things. Is mine still cooler? Yeah, for a lot of things. But he could engrave on top of something that's like 6 inches thick. Because he could just mount it to the top of that. Or he could engrave on something this way by mounting it to something and just pointing it at the wall. He could engrave on something sideways. But it's, yeah, for what we do, what we have is the best option. But once in a while, when somebody needs to engrave something on something thicker, and we can't do that, that would be something cool. I want that. Okay, well, yeah, look it up. It's a company called Laserpecker, and they're like portable laser things that get propped up on like a stand. My buddy Jax at in Australia at JND Creations has a video of him using his and talking about like the versatility of it and why he got it and stuff like that. It's a funny name. It is a funny name. It's fun to say though. Just grab the Laserpecker. We'll just bring it over to the And another cool thing about it is like you can just like you can import photos to it from your phone and have it. I wish I had an assistant who could give you a link to Jax's video on the Laserpecker Pro. But what he's going to do is not that. He's going to put a link in the chat. And it's going to be not that video. Because he's hilarious like me. And you can do that on the Glowforge. Absolutely cannot put this in the Glowforge and engrave a logo on this part of it. Right here, Nadia. Yeah, I bet it isn't. Or maybe he's going to fool me and that actually is. Probably not. Oh, I mean upload from phone. Well, yeah. If you ever watch cell phone repair videos, do not Google ball squeezage. I don't know that no matter what I'm doing, I would Google ball squeezage. I don't know why you thought that was going to get you the answer you were looking for. Beer. Or this link. I get mixed up sometime with all the copy pasting. I wouldn't trust that one either. Because now he might be being funny twice. I think I might be. I think if you want to spend $800 on something for the shop, though, I think a lathe would be a better investment. No, the lathe wouldn't make you as much money as the Laserpecker Pro. I don't know. How many things do we get asked to engrave that we can't do with the Glowforge? Not a lot, but it would be nice to have the option. But where do we put it? See, that's what came up earlier in the conversation too. Is like we'd have to find a place to put it. It's not enormous, but we would need a place to put it, and we don't really have a good one. Well, we could clear out under some of that, like the old display stuff, the old like jewelry hangers and baskets and things under that back, the left side wall, the underneath could probably use some paring down of some of that. And we could make some kind of wheelie system. I don't know. There are things that we could do. There are large items we've been asked to engrave before. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna be biased and say I would rather you buy a lathe, but from a business perspective, the laser pecker is probably a better business investment. But if we had a way to enclose a small area and we had a lathe there, I could do one-on-one drop-in lathe classes for less money for people that might be more popular if they were cheaper and more often, and like just whenever they wanted to schedule them, kind of like open studio type, come in and have a lathe session things. Like there's something, there might be a possibility there if we had an easy way to do that and a lathe on site. I will buy you a lathe if you can figure out how to store it and ventilate at a reasonable price. You're going to have to give me reasonable price because I don't know what a reasonable price is for that. And then we want to keep everything else from getting covered in dust, which is really the main problem, is to like tarp off the area, like a shower curtain type situation around an area and then vent it out. You have a second lathe, right? Well, no. I'm going to say no. I do have a second lathe, but it's only barely a lathe. Like it is not good. It spins and parts of it lock down okay, but it's not something I want to teach people on. I have brought it to classes as the secondary lathe, but it's not good enough that I want that to be people's experience when they're learning how to turn. From a business perspective, I don't think she wants to buy an open station laser engraver. Too many liabilities there. No, it's not an open station laser. It's like we've got a back counter area that's off limits and we can just curtain it off. Like nobody's gonna be walking by and sticking their hand in it. We could do it in, we even are getting our second room back. The tenants that are upstairs in the back are leaving, and we're gonna have another like private area that we could do it up there, and then people can't come in or whatever. It's a good point though. You could technically, with the Glowforge, you can't get your hand in there, the laser pecker, you could absolutely get your hand in there. So we would need to restrict access to where the laser pecker is going. Not hands, eyes. There is shielding on it. Yeah, there's. It's like it's got a. You didn't tell me that. Why are you using garbage lathe? I did tell you that. I was gonna bring my second one, and it's not. It's not garbage. It's just not. It's not the preferred experience I would want to give to people when introducing them to the topic. Like the bowl turning class, I brought it so that people that were waiting their turn to do bowl turning on the good lathe that have already taken my pen class could just do another pen on the crappy one while they're waiting for their turn to learn bowl turning. Todd, do you engrave a lot? Do you laser engrave a lot? Yeah, we're running the Glowforge pretty much every day for one thing or another. I scrolled through Jack's video and there's no shield on his. Well, the one that Paul just bought has like an amber triangular shield. There's various models. They make lots of different models. So it's a good pen lathe? No. it's an adequate pen lathe. It does the job, but just the build quality on it isn't very good. So like when you need to lock things down, it like you turn the thing and it locks, but then you go a little further and now it's unlocked again. It's like on a cam system. So like to tighten things down, there's a very specific spot where it's tight, and it's finicky, and it's not a high quality unit. So it's more dialing things in before you start turning is more of a hassle. It's not a lock it and forget it kind of thing. An easy way to have a tattoo. Yes, we could start branding people if we got the laser pecker. We could be like, do you want to put your wife's name on your arm without paying for a tattoo? We can burn that shit on there. The tool is more work than the activity itself. It's not that bad. I might be exaggerating a little bit. You did not tell me these things about your lathe. I think I did. About the secondary one. I think I did. I said I have a second one, but it's not good, and like that's why I didn't bring it the first couple of classes, because it's not the experience I want people to have. And it's okay. It does the job once it's set up, but it's not how I want it. It's not as enjoyable for people. No, did I not? Well, then we had a miscommunication, because I think I did. I think that was part of the discussion when we were talking about buying the Rikon when it first came out, and I was like, damn, this is a good deal on a quality lathe. And then it sold out immediately. I wouldn't have been okay with you bringing it if you explained it like that. What's his face? People have gotten through it successfully on that lathe. It's just not ideal. Or it was a day when I wasn't listening to you. Yeah, like I said, the conversation may have happened and it just didn't register. Or we were having that conversation when somebody else in the building was also talking and complaining about things, and it was distraction, or there was somebody that was somebody else in your life that was causing a lot of distractions for you and you weren't as focused. There's lots of possibilities here. I'm sure that the conversation happened, and I'm not blaming anybody for it not registering. But there have been a lot of distractions for you in the past 6 months and longer than that, even. Can you discipline him now? Oh, Penel's looking for punishment. He's hoping that you can discipline me in public because I have really good friends. Probably what was happening is we were having that conversation, and then somebody else walked into the building and sucked all the energy out of it and made everything shitty. And that just threw everything off. Easy fix. Have her make a pen on the Laguna and then do one on the other one. I think she understands now. It can get the job done. It's like I said, it's just not. If we want to encourage people to get into this and enjoy it, it's not where we want to have. It's like, I remember just thinking, oh yay, I don't have to buy him one. Okay, so that's definitely not how the conversation should have ended up. Because I think it was like, if you really don't want to buy one, I do have another one, but it's really not very good. Has the boss ever turned on the lathe? No, she hasn't. She has expressed interest. In fact, when I sent her the pictures from the last one that she can use for marketing and things, she was like, damn, that looks fun. I want to try that sometime. That's funny. You have her make a pen on the Laguna and then do one on the older lathe and then have her load the Laguna into the box of the truck. These all sound like good ideas. This might help convince her. Well, I just want to figure it out inside. I want to figure it out inside too. I just don't know what the realistic opportunity is. And maybe when we get the upstairs room back, and if we bought one, but then we'd need to buy two in order to, no, I mean, but then if it's there and we can do one-on-one, like drop-in things as opposed to scheduled, or we could just have an open, you need to pre-register, but these are the available hours during which you can book a time slot kind of situations. And if it's upstairs in that room with windows and a fan, on a rolly thing so it can get out of the way, there are answers here. It just I can't figure out how to do it in the shop itself with all of the merchandise everywhere, because then people are just like, everything's covered in fucking dust all the time, like, and that's not good. Put a shipping container in the parking lot. Let's not talk about that parking lot. One of the best turners is a lady named Amy. This is true. This is true. She has her own line of lathe tools. Yes, I know. Most people bring their own supplies, you know. Yeah, most people's supplies aren't 140 pounds and super awkward to carry. We each buy one. Maybe after Christmas market? If I make a ton of money at the Christmas market? Right now I have to recover my bank account from fucking RBC taking 5 truck payments at a time. Oh, I didn't tell that story. Got a letter in the mail this week. From RBC, who has my bank loan, or my truck loan, saying, this is your final warning. We expect you to pay out the remainder of your loan for $22,000 however many dollars within 15 days of the date of this letter. This is your final warning. And I was like, this is the first warning. I don't know what it is that you're talking about. So I called RBC and said, what's going on now? And they said, oh, well, you missed a payment on September whatever, and we haven't been able to get a hold of you. So you've now missed 5 payments. I was like, okay, so I bounced a payment in September. Apparently there wasn't money there when they tried to take it out. And then they stopped trying to take money out of my account because they couldn't get that one. And now they've considered me missing 5 truck payments, and they want all of their remaining $22,000 or whatever. This sounds like this shouldn't be allowed, but like, what can we do to fix this instead of me suddenly coming up with $22,000? And like, well, you could bring your loan up to date by just making those 5 truck payments. I said, okay, well, let's do that then, because I didn't realize these payments had not been coming out for the last 2 months. Because Money Mike, I don't pay attention to whether things are going out or not. I assume they're going out if I haven't been told. And the funny part is they said, like, we haven't been able to get a hold of you. And it's because I got like 4 phone calls in 2 days from a number that was labeled RBC on my phone. And they never left a message or anything. It was just missed call from RBC 4 times in 2 days. And I'm naturally going to assume that I've made it on like a telemarketing list, that they're trying to sell me insurance or a credit card or something. So I blocked the number. And yeah. Here's the alternative story. They keep trying to take payments and they keep bouncing, and you keep getting the $75 NSF charge. No, that's not how that went. I missed a payment and they just stopped trying, because when I would talk to them on the phone, I'm like, so you guys, I missed 1 payment and you guys just completely stopped trying to take the payments? And they're like, well, yeah, we're not allowed to continue to try and take payments until the one that you've missed got paid. I'm like, well, then I don't think you get to tell me that I missed 5 payments when I only missed 1 and you stopped trying. Like, that's not the same thing. Missing payments is not the same thing as you guys not continuing to try to take payments. In any case, this week they took 5 truck payments to get me back up to date. So I'm fucking broke again. Or cash a damn check. Todd. I know. But you won bingo. So like I said, if it never gets cashed, that's your bingo prize. Make me cutting boards. Remember we were talking about like cheap charcuteries for resin classes? This is the board I was talking about. Right there. That bottom guy. That I could probably make 8 charcuterie boards out of. And if I can figure out an efficiency to do so, we could get it down to that price that you were talking about. Or we can go find a supplier for something like poplar, which is probably not that much money. If we can find like 8-inch wide poplar to make charcuterie boards out of, that's probably a pretty efficient way to do it. We'll just cut them out and put handles on them, sand them up, away we go. If you want actual cutting boards though, like thick ass things, they're laminated together. That's a different story. Like the one that you bought for Jason for his birthday or Christmas or whatever. Like those are more expensive because it's a lot more work. Like you remind me of one of my Navy buddies, capable as all hell, but needs a constant kick in the ass. Yep, I understand that. I understand that. But you like I need a constant kick in the ass to like wake up in the morning and be happy. So like the business mic side of things is always going to fall to the side of like being okay with being alive. And we've talked about that before on the show, about how I like struggle with things, you know? And I think we need to talk about it more as a society. And how we need to recognize that like just because somebody seems okay doesn't mean they are, and stuff like that. I'm gonna do another one of these sticks because I'm enjoying hanging out with you guys. So we might as well just keep going. I get a new beer. I can hang out for as long as you guys want to hang out tonight because I did have a fully charged phone before the show started. I blame your lack of water and vegetable eating. Water would be good. I'm not going to blame it on lack of vegetables. Man up. As a dude, our happiness doesn't matter. See, this part of the issue is that we're not supposed to have feelings, right? Men aren't supposed to have feelings and emotions and mental struggles. We're just supposed to rub some dirt on it, get back in the game, you know? And that's nonsense. And I think we all know that that's nonsense, but it's been deeply ingrained in us for generations. So it's hard to break ourselves from that sort of, even if we consciously know that that's nonsense bullshit, subconsciously it's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. And then we hold it in, and we don't talk about it, and we just struggle quietly, and then eventually it just explodes out of us, and we break down crying at work and have to apologize. We break down and explode at work, and then have to apologize to our boss and say, like, I'm not mad at you, I'm mad at me, and I'm sorry. And then we cry for a couple hours. Yeah, I'm oversharing, I think. But I think we need to acknowledge that these are things that we go through in life. We're all on our own journey, and we all have our own struggles. And there's nothing wrong with not being okay sometimes. I wish everybody could be okay all the time, but it's not. That's not the reality of life, you know. And I think we need to acknowledge when we're not okay. We need to help each other when we're not okay. But we also need to draw a line and say, don't live your life fucking complaining about shit all the time and never having anything good to say. It's a balance, right? Like I think that I'm overall a pretty positive person. I like to look at the bright side of things and find solutions as opposed to problems. There are times where I'm just not okay. And we need to acknowledge that that's just a thing. Gonna start by apologizing. No, because I may be ranting at you thinking of my Navy buddy. It's what? You don't need to apologize. You made a good point. We all need a kick in the ass. But we need the right kind of kick in the ass. We need supportive kicks in the ass. You know, like supportive, encouraging kicks in the ass are positive things. And I think supportive, encouraging things mean friendship, you know? We need to also work on breaking that cycle of negativity. Yeah. There's a cycle of negativity, and well, like I said, I was talking about a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about starting a series of shows, of videos on the channel where I just talked about things that I'm grateful and appreciative for. And I think I still want to do that, because I think even just saying them out loud, and if it helps one other person, it's worth it. And saying them out loud and recording myself saying them out loud is probably going to help me. What's Todd's deal? I think Todd right now is saying the stereotypical messaging that we get. I I know Todd. He's not saying those things like as actual statements. I would like to think. I'm so late. Sorry about that. Bailey, you don't need to apologize for whenever you show up, my friend. Showing up, I appreciate you showing up. We are just about to wrap it up, though. There is a new video release that came out just before this show that you could watch. An actual project video, 2 weeks in a row with a project video released. It's odd. It used to be the standard. Like I've said it before, you have great ideas, put them into action. Yep. Yep. That's the idea. If only it was that easy. It's easier said than done. When there are days that you don't want to be alive, my friend. Constantly fighting an internal battle with yourself about whether or not you want to be here makes accomplishing the ideas, the wonderful goals and thoughts and things that you have, makes the journey a little more difficult. Not everyone's brain works the same. Yeah, we're all like, when I say we're all on our own journey, I mean that both like literally, we are all just making our own way through the world, and metaphorically in your own journey as a human being. Like we're all on our own journey internally and emotionally and intellectually and spiritually and everything else. Nadia, this isn't your arena. I'm gonna ask you to just watch yourself, Todd. This is as much her arena as anybody else's. We're all in this arena. This is everybody's arena. We're all welcome here. And we can all chip in on the conversation. I want you to be the best you can be. Yeah, I want to be the best I can be too. So does Nadia. So does everybody here. We all want everybody to be the best we can be. And we'll all be the best we can be at any given time. And we have to be okay with the best we can be today. I think that's probably what I need to nail down, is that on any given day, the best you can be is going to be different. Like the best I can be today might not be the best I could be yesterday or tomorrow. The best I can be next Wednesday might be really good. the best I could be on Tuesday this past week was really good. Like, I accomplished a lot of shit on Tuesday this past week. I woke up and had a really good day. And the best I could be on Tuesday this week was better than I could be on Wednesday. And that's the glass is not always the same size, you know. Fill your cup, even if the cup's little. Just because it doesn't hold as much liquid doesn't mean you still can't fill it, you know. That is that even a good? That wasn't a good metaphor. That was not a good metaphor. But I think you know what I mean. Like, you be your best on any given day. The best of that day might not be as good as tomorrow, but be the best that day. Can we talk about something more fun and less serious? End the show on a fun note, maybe? Because we're well past where we should have ended this show. I'm glad that we had this conversation. Don't get me wrong. But let's talk about something a little bit more fun to end the show. You're the best, Mike. Keep kicking ass. You get better all the time. See? Yay, encouragement. You just do the best you can every day. Even if that day your best isn't as good as it was yesterday. That's all. All right. Well, if nobody has anything fun to talk about. Good night, my northern across the pond friends. All right. Later, Eric. Have a good rest of your day. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning there or something. Might be noon. Enjoy the rest of your day that's not even half over yet. And maybe even tomorrow. Are you tomorrow? I think so. You started it? Did I though? Did I start it or was it in response to something? Nearly 2 p.m. Sunday. Right. So you're tomorrow midday. What I'm not going to do is get a guitar and play for an hour and make this a 4-hour show. Not just because I don't want to have a 4-hour show, but because I got like a facial, like, stuffiness thing. I have to teach 5-year-olds how to tie-dye in the morning. All right. Bye. Have fun with your 5-year-olds tie-dyeing in the morning. That'll be fun. Lots of elastic bands and colors and things. Right on. Hope you have a good night, especially Todd. Yeah, I hope we all have a good every day. All right, let's get it wrapped up. We can talk about something fun if you guys want, or we can shut her down. How much fun was it to use that number 8 hand plane tonight? I thought that was pretty fun. It's heavy ass. It's good. and you have all the potential. I want you to be awesome. I'm already awesome. I understand the sentiment and I appreciate it. Like I said, you just got to be as good as you can be every day. And every day is not going to be the same amount of awesome that you can be. And we have to be okay with that. Hey, 2 weeks in a row with a project video released. Hey, that's awesome. I don't have anything more to talk about. Let's get it wrapped up. I don't want to end on a. I'm not feeling super happy right now. Let's get happy again real quick before the end of the show. Pinnell, what are you doing these days, my friend? You making anything? You doing anything? How's that shed? Did you finish the shed in time for winter? Last I saw it, it was still supported on the outside and it made it through the storm, but you needed to put roofing. You needed to put shingles and things on it, I think. Maybe a door. Is the shed project done? And also, who had the giant block of Bubinga? And where are we at on figuring out how to dissect that and make it into stuff? Because I think there was discussion on taking it to a sawmill. It's winterized but not finished. Finish it in the spring. Oh, that's unfortunate. Because having a shed to put stuff in during the winter would have been better. But I understand that. Is winterized as in like tarped and like Tyvexed? Or like... I have the big block of... Mallin's the big block of Bubinga. Haven't done anything with it yet. It's still the coolest step stool or footrest or whatever. But I think that should become other things. Because that block of wood is rad. Just lots of cracks and things through it. So it's going to be a little difficult to dissect and get the most usage out of it. But in terms of like turning blanks and star bonded, stabilized blocks of wood, 18, I think we said 16 or 18 inches long. It's a lot that can be done with that chunk of wood. Oh, it's usable, Tyvek, etc. Okay, yeah. So you can put stuff in it. Has some plans in the works. I have a few small items to make with it. I want to make a plane out of a big piece of it. Oh, yes. That would make great play. 18 by 18 by 18. Yeah, plain blanks would be slick. You talked to my friend Vic Teslin about his pole planes that are sort of a combination of Japanese style planes that you pull, but Krenov style planes in terms of their construction. Bubinga Vic Teslin planes would be fantastic. And I bet there's enough between those cracks. I bet there's enough good wood to make a batch of them. To make a whole set. A little block plane and like a smoothing plane and a jointing plane. That'd be cool. And a bunch of pen blanks and bottle stopper blanks, and yeah, that's a wicked piece of wood. Anyway, that was the fun way to end the show. That was much more fun. Thanks for coming, everybody. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Some point soon, I'm gonna get this thing set up and installed on the saw and cut some segments to make some segmenty things that I have only not done because it was a huge hassle. And now maybe it won't be. Thanks again, Sean. I appreciate it. Bye for now. See you next week.